Hello and welcome back. Unfortunately, my phone died, it ran out of battery, and I didn't get to keep the video. I was having the most wonderful live chat with Ray Pastoors from Life Solutions, who I'm going to welcome back, and I don't have the recording, which is frustrating, but you're going to see Ray now. Say hi, Ray, again. Thanks for joining us again, Steph. Very frustrating, yes. Oh, hi, Blue. Hi, Blue. Ray and I are twinsies with our black cats. Don't they love doing that. I'm so sorry. We were saying all these wonderful, amazing tips. Got 10% now. Oh, top tip, Instagram Live. Charge your phone or plug it in. But anyway, Ray, can you just give us a quick highlight of, tell us who you are again, and then we're going to jump back into the conversation about why websites are important.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Ray from LYF Solutions, so Life Solutions. We're an ethical digital marketing firm, passionate about helping small business owners grow in a data-led and sustainable way.
Amazing. And so for those who joined us before, you'd already know, but if you don't know, Ray built my website and also does my green web hosting, which is amazing. I am going to have Ray on my podcast soon, so we will cover all of this again. But we were just talking about, why it's important to show up as yourself and to show personality and have some personal connection through your website. So, and you were just telling us about, we were talking about testimonials before we got cut off. So the importance of social proof and having others saying words and having real testimonials.
Correct, yeah. So using real images will add to that proof point. And another way, of course, is if you are nominated for any business awards or featured in a podcast like Emma's podcast or any other channels, then of course you can showcase that as well, because we know that as seen on this podcast or this blog or magazine, again, are just proof points that obviously build that trust factor with someone online, because at the end of the day, they're just making sure that obviously it resonates with them, but also that they can trust you, because unlike the real world, they can't obviously see you in person when they're online, but they want that connection still to come through.
Yeah. And one of the, things that I was saying before and that comes up a lot and is that your website's never really finished. And so a lot of people get, really stuck on not sharing their site, or they're talking about it and they're like, oh, I'm working my website, but it's not finished yet. And I always just butt in and I say, it'll never be finished. Get over it and get it up there. Get something up there. And you know me, I know you would love me to have some more things done, my speaker page included, but done is better than perfect. And at least something is there. We love what's there. We can always build on it, right?
Correct, yeah. Your website never stops being built. You will continually update content because, again, you've got to have a reason for people to actually visit the website too. So if you want, your customers or clients to go back there, then how else are you going to do it with, new content to actually, I guess, connect with them again? Otherwise, what's the point of them visiting the website? And that's why a lot of websites often invest in the time to actually write a blog as well, so they can actually showcase more about what they do, but also provide helpful guidance for their customers and clients to help them related back to, of course, their business.
And without doing updates, which we should, and I talk about it if you haven't got it yet, in my link in bio, you can get a brand review checklist. And one of the things to review quarterly is your website. Go and have a look at it, and look at it like somebody else would look at your website. Fresh eyes, maybe even get someone else to help you have a look at it, just so you understand what people are saying. But apart from that, if you're not going to tweak anything there, though you will, the blog's the only moving part of your site, really, isn't it?
Yeah, correct.
The only, evolving and moving consistently.
Yeah, definitely. You should obviously update your other pages every now and again, but the blog is, your point of where you can actually talk to people, depending how many blogs you do. Often I say, if you don't have a lot of time to invest, then at least once a month. And you can use blogs in your social media. You can use it in your monthly email marketing as well. So if you've established an email list, as Emma has, of course, then what you can do is actually share that content with your audience too. So you've got, I guess, as many eyeballs on that content as much as you want, because we know in marketing especially, the more time someone actually sees someone, the more likely they're convinced to actually buy and invest in that person. So really important to have that frequency, and of course reduce, reuse and recycle your content. So thinking sustainably, you can of course do that with your content, because you can repurpose a blog, into an infographic, for example, or into another social media post. Like, there's so many different ways that you can actually bring to life your content in a really helpful way.
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing that people get quite hesitant about. They're going, oh, I've got to reinvent the wheel. And I always say to my clients, like, love you, adore you, but not everybody's going to read every single word of your website. So you can use pieces of your website, and if you've done the work and you've got that messaging really strong, you can take parts of your website and put it onto social media. And that might be a little, spark to ignite the fire for them to go and actually look at your website, or, a little snippet that might actually, you could develop upon that, and that makes the blog. Or you take a part of the blog and you put it somewhere else. Like, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't rehash things. Do rehash things. Don't reinvent the wheel. Like, you can use those content, that content in a number of ways. And yes, probably a little bit more realistic, the once a month. I'm always talking to my VA, Leah, I'm going to do once a week. She's like, let's do, once a month. I'm like, twice a month. Agreed. So be realistic with what you can achieve, and a bit of quality over quantity would be a good start. But you want to start, if you're going to have a blog, don't start with it empty. Probably three would be the start point.
Yeah, definitely. And another one is to consider, again, I'm adding more things to learn here, but consider search engine optimization techniques. So the lovely Kate Toon, which Emma has had before on the podcast, is fantastic and offers the recipe for SEO success, even offers a free nibbles course that you can check out to learn the basics of SEO. But really what you're doing there is to kind of understand what people are actually searching for within your audience. So let's say, for instance, you're all about personal branding. What we can do is tap into what people are actually searching for in that topic area. So if you don't do the course, there's a free tool which is called Ubersuggest. Neil Patel, one of the experts, created this tool, and what you can do is you can actually pop in some keywords in there. So be general is often best. Too specific and you probably won't get too many results. But if you pop in, for instance, personal branding into that tool, what it will tell you is some of the terms that people are actually using in Google around that topic. So it can give you great inspiration for what blogs you actually need to create, and actually, your audience are really interested in. So it's a good way to kind of remove, that feeling of gut instinct where I'm like, oh yeah, I think this would be great content. What you're actually doing is creating content that people actually want and need. So you're basing that on, I guess, what you create. Of course, you can still throw your ideas into there. That's completely okay, and that's welcome. However, with this way, you can also encourage some of those Google searches to your website as well.
Awesome. And what was the name of that tool again?
So it's called Ubersuggest, and it's fun. So I believe it's ubersuggest.com. It's a free tool, and really fantastic, just to kind of, put your toes in the water, as they say, to have a look and see what terms people are using. And there's another good one, which I'll mention, which is google.com/trends. And with that one, you can see what's trending in Google search. So what's, the hot topics for the month in your country or state. And it's a really cool tool to see what's, in the limelight of the media, or the attention of users, as they say.
That's awesome. And that's you made a point before about, like, with the website, yes, it's a business card. Yes, it's that proof that you are who you say you are. It is that chance to get to know you. But without, SEO is going to drive people there, but without you know, that the other way to do it is to send people to your website. So there's other ways to send people to your website, and that is through social media content, that is through actually telling people I have a website, go there, and through email marketing. And you support people with all of those things, don't you? Because it's not just one thing. They all work together.
Yeah. Call it holistic marketing. So it's taking, you know, all the best parts and putting it together and going, how can we grow your business by looking at all these different channels where your audience actually hangs out in? So often I see people like, you know, within social media, they might jump on every single channel, but realistically, can you invest in the time that presents? So often you might want to choose one or just two social media networks to focus on and try and make your best efforts to actually reach your audience, and then expand to other areas. But it's good to, as they say, you know, not put all your eggs into one basket. So the beauty of a website is it becomes your owned property, whereas with social media, things can change in the blink of an eye. Like, you know, Instagram changes things on the daily for us in terms of how, you know, things show up in the feed, how lives work, you know, what's popular, what's not. And so you can't rely on just one channel. You need to actually broaden out and look at that. And so that's what we really help small businesses work with. And because I've had experience in the corporate sector as well as small business, I can understand the challenge with small businesses is the fact, you know, they don't have all the time and budget in the world like a corporate does. So the challenge for us is to think about what are those avenues where we can get most growth from and most experiment with, you know, because we've only got a small amount of budget. So where can we get that from? And often, unfortunately, you know, when we're building websites for clients, we do come across those clients who've gone to an agency where, you know, their budget was small and they them to spend even more, but they put all their money into their website, make it pretty and all that stuff, but then they forget the other factor is, of course, the holistic marketing principles. So you've got to obviously invest in a great website, but you've also got to have a plan for how people get there. You know, you can't just build it and they'll come.
No.
The good old days in marketing when you could just create a website and literally you'd have visitors coming through. These days it's a lot harder. However, it's still very important to have.
Absolutely. And like you said, you know, you get to really own that space. And I think there is a little bit of a trend at the moment. People go, oh, I don't have a website, or I'm not going to have a website. I'm just going to use my socials. And I'm going to say I started, when you're starting, because you can set those up super quick. And you can just that's great. You can just make an account and you can start working, and that's awesome. I had for the first few years of my business, I just was working. So I was serving clients, but it's that credibility. It's that business card. It's that representation of you. And it is that owned space. It's your space. It's where you get to tell the story. It's where you get to share your message. It's where you get to share your why. And they get to develop that relationship. Plus, it's just a source of awesome then content. It's like your content bank, you know, really. Right. That then goes out onto the communication channels. So the website, I always saw it as like sort of the hub.
Yeah, definitely. And it's all about those connections at the end of the day. And it shows that you're an established business, you know, and that people can actually trust you and they can find out more because, you know, different personalities have different styles in terms of how they learn. So like, for instance, you know, with your blogs, you might want to think about how can I bring that to life? Like I said before, you might have an infographic, you might even have a video that you produce, and it can just be from your phone. To really showcase some of the points that you make, because people have different ways that they learn. So some people like short points, you know, and that's why we have dot points and headings and subheadings within our blogs or pages. Whereas other people, they're really detailed and they like to look at every single word. They might even say, oh, there's a typo there every now and again, which is always fun. But, you know, that's just the way people are. So you've got to kind of feed into that for your audience, because they no matter who your demographic is, there are people that just want the short stuff, and then there's people that actually want to do the research and really look at the detail. And so your website gives them that opportunity, because in social media, it's very short and simple and sweet often in time. So your website gives them that chance if they want to learn a bit more about you or what you've got to offer as well.
Well, speaking of, I'm going to jump off because I think my phone's going to die again. How do people find more about you?
Well, like I said, proof is in the pudding. So if you type in LIF solution, you'll find us on Google pretty fast. We're usually number one, always number one. We're doing a good job. So you can find us there and go straight to the website, or just look us up online, of course, on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook. We're on. So you can follow us to see all our great tips. If you do go on our website, you may notice there is a pop-up just before you go, because of course we're building a mailing list, but what you do get is 30 tips to actually reduce your carbon footprint for your business. So fantastic way to actually do even more for the environment personally as well as professionally.
I love it, Ray. Thank you for the gorgeous job you've done on my website. I get beautiful compliments all the time. We're not done. There's plenty for us to do. You'll never get rid of me. So thank you for your time. And yes, make sure that you are showing up on your website as well as in other places. And there's so many great tips on how to do that. And Ray is your man if you need support with that. And if you're ready to invest in yourself, I highly recommend it, because it's a whole world that I just don't know about. So thank you, Ray, for all your help.
No worries. Thank you so much. And it's not just me anymore. So I give credit, of course, to my team as well, who obviously help quite a lot and allow us to even help even more clients too. So thank you to them too.
Well done. Thank you so much. And I'll see everyone next week on the next live. Bye.
Everyone. Bye.